Everybody, this is Big Herc back for another edition of Prison Talk. And we had a question from one of our viewers. In the Benny Laws video, he spoke about dreamers, inmates who believe they are not going to have to serve their sentence. I would be very interested in hearing your thoughts on stories of inmates who fit the description of dreamers. Is everybody dreaming to some extent, or do some inmates just resign to serving their time? How much do appeals cost? How do inmates go about starting their appeals? How do indigent inmates pay for their appeals? Well, as far as dreamers, there are quite a few guys in the feds who believe at some point they will be released from prison. And that's the only reason they continue to function in the system, because they have hope. Without that hope, it would be just total chaos in the facility because guys would have no reason to live. So there's always a sense of hope when talking among the inmates as far as one day being able to be released. I've talked to guys who are lifers in there who've got big sentences, and they in the back of their mind maybe think that there's a slight chance they might have a taste of freedom. So they research their case, or they hold on to some sense of self, which allows them to get up every morning, function, go to breakfast, and do a regular program. But then, like I said, I've seen guys who have gotten life sentences turned over. So it's not all dreamers. You stay in a law library, things happen. There's a lot of laws being passed. A lot of guys, they spend their time hanging out in the yard, gambling, playing sports. So they're not really privy to what's going on with the judicial system. So a lot of guys who are in a law library take advantage of that. And when these guys hear about something and they want something filed, they charge these guys for doing their paperwork for them because they don't want to do the research. So, you do have a lot of guys who capitalize on the fact that, yeah, people say they're dreamers, but when these dreamers get action, everybody tries to jump on this dreamer's tail. I've seen a guy, beat a bank robbery case because the bank wasn't federally insured. There's guys that have beat drug cases that have been overturned because of just maybe tampered evidence, or a witness who took back who was basically corrupted, or things of that nature. So I've seen guys get in there and actually do some homework, and guys who even have money, who have lawyers working for them on the street. I've seen a guy give back 50 years and get out. So it's not all about dreaming. It's about having a vision and feeling that based on what your case is, and only the person dreaming knows what their cases entails, what the details of their case is. So they know what the possibility of them actually getting freedom. So you can't really say that person's dreaming unless you're in their shoes. As far as appeals, if you're doing your own appeal, or there's legal groups on the street that help inmates file appeals. They help with paralegal services. A lot of inmates reach out to them, and they help them with their case and their research. And I've seen a lot of guys get help from these college students that get their cases overturned. So there are a lot of resources out there for inmates who are looking to get their cases overturned and to help them with legal work. If as far as inside, if you're trying to file your own paperwork, the appeals process, costly. You got your copies, you got your mail outs, you got just general filings and stuff like that you have to pay for. I can't remember offhand what the cost is to file an appeal, but you do have to deal with a lot of paperwork and stuff like that, and it can add up. So it's always good to have some type of money or resources whenever you're trying to fight your case. I mean, the people with the big money, they can stay fighting for years, and it's what gives people hope in prison.